Hey guys, welcome back. It's grimreaper coming you for another video for Shadows. Hopefully you're doing well, and hopefully you're looking after yourself, and hopefully you're having a good start to the weekend. Or coming up to the weekend anyway. I've just been watching Papa Drock and Chan's video, and I watched his Chosen video recently as well. And I was kind of thinking, I actually wanted to do this video a while ago, but I was kind of a bit scared of doing it. And been doing full-time content creation now for probably just over a year and a half, moving to Indonesia in 2023. And I wanted to kind of talk about my personal experiences as a content creator and what it's like about making content. And generally, I do get asked quite a lot about people who want to come into content creation for many reasons, and especially with Inside Raid, or just in content creation in general. And so I wanted to do this video and kind of just talk about what is life like being a content creator. We'll talk about some of the pros and some of the cons of being a content creator with inside Raidshadowlegends, and also just in general. Obviously, I've been making content now for about 4.5 years on Twitch, and on YouTube, I'm probably being consistent for a year and a half, maybe 2 years now. And as a small channel myself, it can be very challenging with making content, especially when you're trying to make 2 videos a day. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to kind of share my opinion and stuff like that. So kind of an interesting one today. I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet. I don't want this to be like super long. And I don't normally make these personal videos myself because it's generally what I'm not really interested in. Most of you guys are interested in the raid side of that. But as a hardcore uh, player base, a small community that we have on a YouTube and Twitch, I do like to watch. We probably don't get to see some of these questions that we will speak about today. So let's talk about the pros and cons about being a content creator. First of all, I want to give a shout out to everyone that's supported my channel over the past year and a half, 2 years on YouTube. Um, and it's really does feel like a good achievement of getting to nearly 4,000 subscribers. And I guess the next milestone is the 8,000 subscribers and the 60,000 views. And I guess I would like a bit of feedback from you guys on what we can start working on to improve the channel. And I know there is a lot of things I need to do as a content creator to still grow the channel. Uh, Video ideas, spelling mistakes on the thumbnails, and probably my weakest spots in as a person. And I'm always working on my skills and trying to grow. Audio, for example, audio is probably not the best right now because I don't have like sound system and stuff like that built in to like reduce the echo and stuff like that. I'm talking about just in content itself. Like, what would you guys like to see? Now, obviously, you guys know that I'm not a free to play. I am a low spend player, and I really enjoy making free to play guides. Not free to play guides, in game guides as in game player in in-game content, which is at the moment Faction Wars, kind of a little bit of Hydra, and then obviously Arena in general. I've been pushing Platinum Arena lately because I've left SP, and I kind of just enjoyed a big break from that. I think I pushed once and were very successful. So let's talk what is life like as a content creator. So let's talk about the goods. The goods of being a content creator. I would like to also share before we talk about negatives and stuff that I really do enjoy being a content creator, especially inside Raid, and I still love the game. And how I feel overall with Inside Raid is I've never been so dedicated to something in my life outside my marriage and being a father or new father towards my daughter to be successful, but mainly because I have the passion and want to try and make everyone's life easier inside Raidshadowlegends to try and help you guys with this difficult content that we always have to face. And that's why we do some what's what. So let's talk about the pros. Well, obviously about the pros of being a content creator inside Raidshadowlegends is just generally working from home. It's a nice feeling to work from home, kind of work on your own schedules or what you like to a certain extent, and how it feels to kind of have that bit of freedom, especially to spend more time with my daughter and my wife, and my own time, and like kind of really more support my wife, especially as we've got a seventh month old baby, actually just turned 8 months actually on the 1st of June. And it kind of just nice because if we was in England, I would be working like 60 to 80 hours a week in hospitality, probably working 2 jobs, as well as doing the content creation on the side, and probably just drowning in hours and hours and hours of work. Not like I don't work a lot already in content creation, but I kind of enjoy it, so it doesn't feel like a job like it did with hospitality. And I loved hospitality up until pretty much when COVID happened, and then kind of just lost my love for hospitality after that, because it wasn't as, you kind of just lost that safety, which kind of brought me out of comfort zone to do this. So yeah, there is good in that. So if you're looking to be a content creator inside Racial Legends, or just in content creation in general, you have to have passion for what you do. You work for yourself. It's very hard to stay disciplined in posting videos on a scaled time, a consistent time, and etc. And it's hard to kind of motivate yourself to go a bit longer. And then I want to talk about as well, like just the community that we have inside Racial Legends. It really does motivate me to carry on making content. It can be very difficult coming up with video ideas every day to, run a business, because this end of the day is a business for me, and how I've changed my ways of thinking about how I spend money in real life, how I'm spending money on Raidshadowlegends. And like I've been watching a few content creators recently who are putting money into the game, and they kind of just look at it as investment, and that is what I will speak about shortly on the con side. And then other than that, playing games every day, right? Playing your game that you love to play, you get to play it every day, and you get to make money from that. So that is great. Um, Overall. So yeah, that is generally a very, very good thing to do. And then obviously eat what you want. Like I was a formal chef in the UK, so being able to cook my wife, food. I pretty much do like 80% of the cooking for us. She really enjoys it because she's Indonesian. So she gets to try a bit of the Western world from a real good perspective on that. And yeah, it's just kind of a nice, proud moment to be a father, but also be fairly doing okay on the raid side. So that is a good thing about being a content creator as well. You kind of work your own hours, but you also kind of don't, because right now we live in Indonesia, so I kind of have to take into consideration when I'm streaming about when people want to watch Twitch and etc. As a business is something I'd have to take into consideration. So normally my streams start at 10 p.m. for me, and I'm working nights all the way through, which actually turns out to be really good with the baby, because it means I'm around more in the daytime more, and obviously I get to make my videos, etc. Kind of get a little bit frustrating sometimes to make videos with Raid when stuff drops last minute inside Raid, because it's normally at 7 p.m. for me, and I haven't got time to make the videos without delaying on other effects of the business, I guess. With which is what I'm trying to do more this year, is stay with the consistency of the channel, posting live arena videos more, which is where my passion is inside Racial Legends, where I want to bring some positivity and kind of help you. And there's me spending less money inside Raid over the last year and a half, 2 years really, since being a content creator. My account has been power crept quite hard, but the knowledge is still there. If anything, I feel like I'm more knowledgeable right now inside Raid, especially when we're talking about arena, than I have probably in the past year and a half with all of the stuff. And I feel like inside P versus P, I have definitely grown from a large aspect. When I probably first joined SP, my arena knowledge has grown by a ton. I wouldn't say I'm the best arena player out there. I'm definitely not even top 100. I'm definitely not even top 15. when it comes to content creators when we're talking about arena, but I do feel like I'm half decent, and I do my best to help people go forward and have enjoyable streams. Obviously, the GNU Pro is I really enjoy streaming. Like streaming for me is where the good side of that is where I can do what I want. And for me, I enjoy streaming more than I do with the YouTube sides, because sometimes with the YouTube side, you kind of feel like you're talking to a camera, and it's really hard to kind of have that personal connection with someone on the YouTube side. So I do my best to bring my personality into my videos. Obviously, as a content creator, I'm still very new at this. I'm still growing my skills. I feel like I've definitely grown a lot when I've watched back my first videos on the channel, and I feel like I have grown a lot, and there's still a long way to go. Yeah, for me, that's and streaming. Well, streaming, you get to like a live interaction. I'm not really like a social person in real life, and that's one thing to kind of take into consideration of that, right? And yeah, and it does really help with your mental health. Obviously, when you're trying to help people on takeovers and stuff, you have more than one brain going, so community can really help sometimes of fixing someone else's account. And I always appreciate a lot of my subscribers on Twitch and my viewers on Twitch for that. And I will be changing how the Twitch kind of will be running in the future. I'm just trying to catch up on a lot of things right now with stuff like that. So yeah, that's definitely something that I'm really looking forward to. So let's talk about some of the cons of being a content creator. Well, first of all, if you're looking to do content creation for money, and this is when most people kind of get content creation wrong and etc., is it's really hard to make a decent amount of money as a content creator. If I was living in the UK now as a content creator, I wouldn't have enough to support me and myself and my wife as a content creator in the UK. Or if I was living anywhere in the Western world, I'm only able to be full time as I live in Indonesia. And even then, it can be a bit of a struggle sometimes, but it's fine. Like, I love what I do, and you just need to be a bit more sensible with spending inside raids, and just generally trying to limit more of that. Another thing as well, like I try and do is mental health, right? So let's talk about mental health. Being a content creator, I guess is where the squishy stuff kind of starts, right? The cringy stuff kind of starts, which I don't normally like to talk about in my channel. But as a content creator, your mental health can take a negative impact from stuff like you. It's very easy to get stuck into a cycle of streaming, getting up, making a video, going into gameplay, going back to bed, and being like that. And even having a wife and a child, sometimes I am like that with how busy that I do with takeovers and how many takeovers I do, which is a great thing. I'm not complaining or anything like that. I enjoy it. It's me. It says yes to them. And people don't force me to do them, and I really kind of enjoy doing that. And I kind of have to break that cycle a lot, especially when I'm doing 4 hours live arena a day, which 3 of them are on Twitch. And if you're interested in live arena content, go ahead, check out the channel. The link is down in the description, or you can type in grimreapertvraid on Twitch. You'll pretty much find me live. This week I've streamed 7 days this week. Some weeks I mainly stream maybe 5. I do try and take Monday, Tuesday off to get away from the streaming and to try and break that cycle as that. So if you're trying to be a content creator, be careful, don't fall into this trap of that, because it can have a negative impact on that. And obviously, if you're a full-time content creator or you're trying to be a full-time content creator, it's very easy to stay in the house. So I actually take a lot of walks in the daytime to try and stretch my legs, exercise, and clear my mind, get some vitamin D from the sun, as it's always beautiful and hot in Indonesia, which is one of the bonuses of living in Indonesia, and what reason why I'm so lucky and so blessed to be able to do that. And right now, like, I'm probably living my best life I have in the past 10 years. Probably haven't had such a great life since I was on the cruise ships, which I do generally miss a lot as well overall. And yeah, it's probably that was the best time really right now, and that's one of the things that I do try and break as well with the cycles, and also trying to run a business and etc. from that. So I guess that is the pros is your mental health can take a bit of a hit. Spending. Let's talk about spending. So obviously as a content creator, you don't make a lot of money as a content creator, not for a channel my size. We can see that the channel my size is just under 4K, and I'm very grateful for how far we got. A lot of hard work into the channel. I've grown in a lot of areas. I'm still growing in a lot of areas, and I'm still trying to work on the things behind the background. Like I'm saving for like a decent webcam, doing some um, research on new webcams, etc. Because in Indonesia, they don't have like the typical stuff, and trying to get stuff sent from like the UK or the US is very difficult because of how the borders are, and they don't like to let in technology, and you have to pay a lot of taxes to get it back, and etc. And that's if you're lucky enough to get them. I had some parcels sent from the UK, and I never was able to achieve them. So it's one of them ones like I am looking at equipment, doing research, etc. It is not easy, obviously, with a language barrier and bits and bobs. So, yeah, money is one of them ones, and spending money inside Raidshadowlegends, which again goes back to mental health. Like we all spend money as a content creators. Like we all spend money, well, most of us anyway, inside Raidshadowlegends to help with content, to help with video ideas, because another a con is inside Raid limited to content. There's not a lot of content that you can make. And right now we have a lot of content. I don't even remember when I had so many video ideas because of how much content we got. We've got live dungeons going alive right now. We've got hard faction wars. We've still got Chimera, it's just pretty fresh. We've got new champions being balanced and updated, like Blindseer and Mountain Coach. Really looking forward to seeing the changes of that. And one of the reasons why I feel so good inside Raidshadowlegends at the moment, I don't really feel why I feel so good, but I do feel really positive, and I do feel really strong inside Raid. And I feel like over the last year and a half since I've been full time, my passion has grown so much in Raid. And I think one of the reasons is I just lowered my expectations and changed my mental attitude and how I see Raid and how I look at Raid overall. And the way I do that is basically spending money on shards. Like I have a decent amount of stack shards right now, and I will make another video soon about how much money we're spending in raids. If you guys are not aware already, I'm spending around about £100 as a month. And one of the things I'm telling myself now, and by the way, this is not me trying to preach to you to not spend any money in raids or cut down your raid or anything. You have to understand you guys are adults, and that is your responsibility and not so much my responsibility. As a content creator, I can't tell you what to do, but I'm doing this for myself as a personal growth, and it helps me lower my expectations. Like, for example, the only really pack I've been buying for Raid, which is as entertainment and not as an investment, as is I'm not looking at Raid as an investment anymore. I used to say on videos, oh, we're going to spend the money as an investment. Well, investment is you spend money on something and you make a large chunk of change back on something. Well, in Raid, that doesn't really happen. You can spend a load of money on shards. You're never going to make that money back on shards from one video. Even if you get 10,000 views, 20,000 views, the shards are so expensive in this game. There's probably only 2 content creators that are in that place that will potentially make the money back. And I would be kind of interested to see if the 2 content creators actually do, which would probably be Ash and how Hades with the size of their channels and etc. But that's down to them to kind of share that information. That's not really for me to really talk about, but it's just using as an example, and that's made me feel a lot better inside Raid. Obviously, going after champions that I can work with, like Lamassu, Empress, Marius, Carnage. I'm working really hard right now in Hard Faction Wars. Even if I don't probably enjoy the content so much, I find it really frustrating with the RNG, but I do enjoy the learning side of it, even if I kind of do complain in my stream a little bit about its content, or maybe get a little bit frustrated. I'm a bit hot-headed right in life, and as a pushy person, as a person that pushes hard, even when I feel like I can't do something, I keep pushing anyway, because that's just me as a person, which is, I feel, is a good mentality to have. And I've lowered my expectations with shards because I'm not spending money on shards now. I only want to buy is the mini mix pack, ultimate mix pack, and it has like 4 primals, 2 voids, 2 blues, and a couple of gems, which is like 600, and then some energy pots as well. Just generally because it's one of the best packs to buy, right? Which you'll find on the daily side. I've only bought the daily energy pack, which has 256 day this because the event dungeon is going to go live today, and this is probably the best pack overall. And I still find a forge pass. You can see I don't buy the mini mix pack, I don't buy the packs here. I don't think that this pack is as good as it used to be. You can see my prices are medium because I have dropped a bit of cash this month on some energy packs, which was like 40% off, and I had the energy cost of 305 per dollar, which is great compared to normal that. And the only reason I picked them up, to be honest, was again because of that. And I'm more looking to put the rest of the budget into this, which is into soul stones to increase my arena and my speeds across the arena and just enjoy raid from that. So that's something that I'm doing through the soul merch, right? So I'm not chasing mythicals again, lowering my standards, lowering my expectations, and just working with what I've got, what champions I've got, the gear I've got. My gear is very good. Do look after that really well. And that kind of just helps the mentality inside of raid because it shouldn't feel like a job in raid. And if you're feeling very negative about raid right now, maybe a break is a good idea. You know, I took 2 breaks on raid and I've always come back stronger from that. So for me, yeah, I'm enjoying that. And because I'm not spending money on shards, I'm saving a ton of money. I can spend more money if I wanted to. But again, my mentality has changed now. I'm not looking at the as raid, my raid account as a general, as an investment, more looking at my content as an investment, and that's a different story. So, for example, I get my thumbnails made by actually someone that actually knows what they're doing by them, and you can tell when I make a thumbnail and when the artist makes a thumbnail. And then I'm also changing a few things behind the sceneries as well, bringing more people to help me with takeovers, trying to look at another person to offer a live arena service to kind of help with the demand with that area as well, and grow, give people opportunities inside the community as well that I really deserve them opportunity. You know, Ram does a fantastic job of driving accounts when people want to take a breaks, and he, you know, he just does the dailies, keeps everything ticking for them accounts so they don't fall behind and they can just take a bit of a breather from raid overall, which is great. You know, he gets to make a little bit of money from the side and does what he does best, right? So it's really, really lucky. And I would love to give shout outs to a lot of people, but there is a lot of people to give shout outs for. And I don't want to give shout outs to 1 or 2 people and then miss 1 or 2 people. So and I don't want to offend people from that. So I just want to thank my community overall. I guess there isn't many negatives of being a content creator, right? I guess another one is making video ideas. Like video ideas is something I struggle with personally a lot myself, and I know other content creators do. I am working on more collabs, but I'm only want to be working on collabs that have the same kind of interest of the same type of content that I do, which is in-game content or arena content, which is what I like to talk about and try to encourage Raid to change. Which, you know, they don't like to listen to content creators, but we do try, right? And I really pushed hard on the matchmaking, and they kind of reached out to me about the matchmaking, which felt great. Do I feel satisfied with the matchmaking system right now? No, I'm still facing gold 3 players on my account, which is not fair on the community or people that don't have the knowledge or even their investment into account like I do, you know, because I have the money, I had the time, I had the other areas knowledge which I don't have to buy, and yeah, and it's just not fair on people that just coming into raids, and you know, it needs to be better. But overall, I do feel like raid is going in a good direction most of the time. I think they do still stab themselves in the foot, and hopefully MTG now, because raid's just been took over like 2 months ago from MTG. Hopefully they'll start making some better changes towards and start listening to the community more overall. So I guess that is about it. I didn't mean it to be a 24-minute video. It's just me talking about being a full-time content creator, pros and the cons, And yeah, hopefully you enjoy this video. I won't be making these videos a lot, guys, so don't expect it too much, but it's kind of nice to kind of give a thank you and show my appreciation to the community for that as well. And I'm really, really grateful for this opportunity, which I feel like I'm working hard to be successful as possible. Anyway, guys, that is it for today's videos. We'll be dropping a live arena video, which might go live before this or after this, talking about seasons and doing some seasons. As usual, guys, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. I've been Grim. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.